Hello, and welcome to the Holistic Living, Learning, and Loving podcast, where we are bringing you back to the basics.
We explore sustainable living and holistic health and strive for progress, not perfection.
So please join us on a wellness journey and feel empowered to make positive changes in your life.
Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us this week. We are going to have a really great episode, and we're so glad that you have come back to us or just started with us or whatever this journey has been. We've been doing this a bit now and have a couple of episodes under our belt, so that's great. You can kind of go skip back and find like whatever you feel like you're connecting with in that moment. And maybe that's how some new people like find us, is because they're looking for whatever it is we were talking about before, which is cool. So this week, so this is really near and dear to my heart because I just turned 40 like on September 13th, and that was a Friday. So on Monday I came back and I was like, all right, like, what am I doing here? I need to like step up my game. So I instituted, or at least I'm trying to be good about this. It's almost like a New Year's resolution, where I just like try to do these 4 things every day, or at least 3 of them usually. So I like to do breath work, meditation, mobility exercises, and regular exercise. Now that's like 4 is hardly ever going to happen. It happened like one time in the last 2 weeks, but it can happen. Yeah. So I'm going to kind of talk about that and, my journey with it, and then also like why I even care about that stuff, obviously. So the first one I just kind of started messing with, it's breath work. And the only reason why I heard about it is because I saw a class that someone was doing, like a Zoom of breath work, and I was like, wanted to do it, but I didn't. And then I was like, well, let me just find one on YouTube, and it was pretty crazy. I like sent it to you, and I think you tried it too, right?
Yeah, I'm glad I tried it right when you sent it, because a lot of times you send me things and then I forget and I don't do it. But that one was really cool. I really enjoyed that, and I've been wanting to do it every morning, but it takes me a really long time to make something part of my routine. Mm-hmm. Once I know about it or learn about it, it's going to sit and fester in my brain for a while before I actually make it routine. It could be like a year, but yeah. I did it for 2 days in a row, and it's really cool, really effective, especially if you have anxiety, stress, which, like, who doesn't?
Yeah, really. That's like everybody.
Yeah, it's just so great. It's a great tool, and so simple. And
it's
quick.
So funny, though. Like, it cracks me up because I do find it hysterical, too, and I did it with Mike one day, and, like, we had the giggles so bad because whenever we say breath work, we're talking about breathing kind of in an interesting way. So, like, in this one that I sent, he takes 10 deep breaths first and then 10 little breaths, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like probably is about 10. And it's like deep breath, out, deep breath, out. Yeah, and then he does the deep breath. It's like
deep in, deep out.
But in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then you do it quicker. And then you take one big one, let it out, and you hold that. You don't breathe in for
I never knew you didn't breathe in at the end of that. I've been.
Oh, really? Am I doing it wrong?
No, I think it is, because I thought that the last time I did it, I was like, oh, I think you're supposed to hold your breath.
Yeah, and I was amazed that that's a minute and a half. And I was amazed that I could hold my breath that long, because I used to be a smoker for a really long time, and I don't smoke anymore, but it still affects me, I feel, or I just can't hold my breath long. I usually can't go in swimming or whatever. I can't hold my breath long. And I was holding it for a minute and a half with no issues, and that minute and a half is just really cool after you'd been almost like hyperventilating is what it feels like.
It's almost euphoric, right?
Yeah.
I feel euphoric.
Your whole body tingles.
Yes, you feel it. Like, maybe not on the first round, but you do it 3 times, and by the second round, your whole body feels it, and it's kind of crazy. But what's kind of weird? So back whenever I was a senior in high school, these people that I knew, these guys, would get really stoned, and then they would do what kind of almost sounded like that, but then they would like, hold their neck to stop blood flow or whatever. Yeah. And I think it was for these same feelings that we're talking about.
It's so funny that you bring that up, because I sent the video to Nick, and I was like, you should really try this. He was like, yeah, I used to do that back in the day.
That's funny.
But now it's kind of, we're doing this for different reasons.
Yes. And that makes me think of that every time. But yeah, it feels really crazy. It is a crazy feeling, but
Yeah.
it's really good. It helps you calm down. So, like, obviously, calm down, lower blood pressure, all that stuff, like lowering your anxiety and
It's kind
even,
of like a reset.
yes,
Like
it
you
is.
feel like you could say you went into it, you're in a bad mood, or you have a lot of anxiety, or maybe your mind's just racing a lot. You can do that, and then after it's just like a reset. You have a fresh start, kind of.
I like that, a reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess for me, I do all this stuff in the morning before my kids wake up. Right whenever you wake up, you do this first and quiet your mind and then go into a meditation. And it's crazy
Yeah.
how focused you can be in the meditation if you do that first.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
gonna
that
have to
sounds
tell
really
that to
good.
one of my friends that does an intuitive class. I feel like that might help really get into the place of being able to do it good, at least for me.
Yeah, and I don't know if the video said that, but isn't it supposed to like your frequency?
I
Did it
don't
say
know
that?
if you're doing that one or the my meditation vibrational frequency,
Oh,
but I
maybe
don't
it's,
know. I
I
can't
don't know.
remember. But I know I did read about it because I was like, okay, I'm new to it. That's basically all I knew. But then I was Googling it and it said that it can actually help you heal trauma
I can believe that.
because it stimulates the autonomic nervous system and releases stored emotions and memories.
So listen to this. Um, so you know how people like to do mushrooms or DMT for a what do you call that?
Oh,
Ego
for
death
trauma.
or
Oh,
just to for a spiritual awakening. And they go with these trip guides. Is that what you
oh,
call it?
like almost like ayahuasca type stuff.
Yeah, you go to these special places where somebody's gonna help
Yeah.
you through
Oh,
it,
and you
and
do like a crazy dose, high dose with that
yeah, like
situation.
you're gonna do a big trip or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching somebody on YouTube who was talking about that, and he was saying how instead of doing that, because I guess those kind of places can be sketchy sometimes because you're kind of out
Yeah,
of it, and you
and
have these people who could just like take advantage of you or whatnot.
yeah,
And it's just crazy. You're
in
relying on
general.
the drug or whatever.
Yeah.
So you could actually get your body produces DMT. If I'm almost absolutely sure that it does. Your body can produce it, okay? And you can do some type of breath work. Yeah, go look it up to make sure I'm not crazy. But you can do some kind of breath work, some kind of crazy breathing that will make your spine, your spinal fluid or something, push DMT into your brain and cause like a natural experience that way.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a thing. People do it and it's pretty cool. It's a natural way and your body is doing it itself. It's like crazy what your body is capable of.
I really think that that's cool. I never really realized that you could do that. I have had a few experience though recently where I've really been thinking of moments from my childhood and other times, stuff that I had totally forgotten or whatever. Stuff has been coming back to me lately.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been having a lot of memories about stuff, and kind of doing my own healing lately, realizing certain things, like realizing, becoming more self-aware, which is actually one of the things that it talks about that this does for you too.
That's really awesome. I
Yeah,
love
realizing how I react to things. I'm really jealous of other friends. Jealous that I don't want them to have another friend. I want to be number one. You probably already know this about me. And I only am just realizing that.
I
I've
know
always wondered, like, God, I'm so disappointed in whoever. And then I just realized that's how I am.
but that's really cool that you are able to do all of this healing on your own.
Yes.
It shows you, like, I love that so much because I want people to know that we have so much power to do things ourselves. Like, of course it's good to have help sometimes, from outside sources, but there's so much you can do on your own when you trust yourself and you can use very simple natural techniques.
Yeah, because the thing is, granted, listen, I've been through trauma in my life, and not trauma like horrendous, horrible, bad stuff that's happened to me. I mean, I feel like some stuff has been bad, but nothing like horrendously horrible.
Everybody has some form of trauma.
Yes. But I mean, how do you overcome that? I've done therapy, it didn't really feel like I got it. I've done antidepressants and stuff like that, didn't really feel, that was the right path for me. But lately, just being self-aware of that, and also because it made me realize too, and I'm kind of talking about that in meditation together-ish, like the way Mike and I got together and how my behavior affected our relationship. And because what I just said about me, that I'm jealous. Initially, I was so jealous of everything he did that was not me. I mean, not did, but like I was jealous of everything, like him getting his extra degrees and rugby and going out with certain friends or whatever, even though they weren't bad. But it's because that's how I am. And at least I was able to acknowledge that and be like, I'm sorry for that, dude.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't cool of me to do that. And I'm sorry that I took that away from you.
And that's so big on so many levels. Just the self-awareness can bring so much healing. Just you being aware of it, because now you can recognize it when you're doing it, because now you know it's there, you know that you do it, so that'll prevent you from doing it more. And then you being able to apologize to him is going to bring so much healing to him.
Yes, because he just was like, God, she was so fucked up. Probably thinking, I mean, I don't know what he thinks, but probably thinking back to that time and been like, that's so messed up that she did that, or whatever. I'm sure he has feelings about it because I was a psycho. But at least now I understand why.
We all have our things, And I know I've had mine. And I know that hearing someone tell me sorry for something that did hurt me, whether even if it's something I don't even think about really anymore, it's still, I don't know, it's like weight lifted off. It's like, oh, thank you for acknowledging that. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm really into it. So breath work also strengthens your respiratory system. We were talking about with taking those deep breaths, and that's so good for your lungs, because lungs, like everything in our body, needs to stretch.
That is a really good point.
Used. If you're not using your lungs to their full capacity, then it's just, staying hunched over like this. It just gets worse and worse and worse until you have nothing left,
And that's true, because like we're not like the hunters and gatherers anymore. We're not like running around, or we're not very active people. We're not using our lungs like we're probably supposed to be. And that's like everything else. We're not using our bodies like we're supposed to be. But we think about exercise more often. We don't think about using our lungs. I guess when we're exercising, we are using them, but we can
maybe not,
simply...
Not exactly in this way, because this is expanding it. It's stretching it. It's like mobility exercises.
You're
almost.
right. And I saw so much, just like I said, I was able to hold my breath for a minute and a half, which of course I just took in a bunch of deep breaths, but still, I could tell if I did that for a while, my lungs would significantly improve. I know it. And that's
it's exciting.
Really cool.
I haven't done it in a couple of days, but I need to. I wonder if you can, I feel like you could do it at night too. I don't think it necessarily perks you up. I don't see why not. Because it calms you down. Because when I did it with Mike, which was hysterical, I'll post the video in the notes so that anybody listening can do the one that we're talking about. But don't do it with your partner, because you will just giggle because of the way, like the noises he makes, and then it going fast. It kind of cracks me up every time. But anyway. That's
funny. I thought about trying to do it with Nick, and then I was like, that'll never work. I just can't take things serious,
It'll be funny
around.
At least. So another thing it does is increases your blood flow, and then by increased blood flow and also reducing your stress hormones is actually helping your immune system to be able to fight disease and inflammation and viruses and all that stuff too.
Yeah, and dude, we don't have good blood flow. Like, you know what I mean? We're always, a lot of us are mostly like sitting down or just standing. We're not moving. I think that's kind of like the main goal of this whole episode is like just movement, right? We need movement in our lives. And like you said, you just turned 40. I'm almost 40. And we really need to focus on movement I'm so glad you brought that up the other day, because it's important. We just start to get stiffer, and everything just gets more and more stiff, and less flexible.
Like, gravity is constantly beating down on us and compressing everything. It's compressing the discs in our neck. It's compressing our joints and making them hurt. And then it's making us hunch over, which is killing our neck and all that stuff. So it's just... we have a lot of forces working against us,
And our blood just not flowing really well
Yeah.
can cause so many issues. If your blood's
my
flowing
God.
better, that's going to eliminate
It's
probably a lot.
dementia
Yeah.
and Alzheimer's and those brain diseases because it's blood flow.
Yeah.
Like-
and anything to do with inflammation or just anything. Anything.
It's just like, dude, just try it.
Yeah. It's too simple to not try.
It's very simple. I think this one, is it 10 minutes long? I think
I
it's
think so,
10
yeah.
minutes long. I'm sure there's like shorter sessions. If you're like really strapped on time, then you just type in YouTube, breath work, whatever, however many minutes. And also you can tailor it like breath work, anxiety, however many minutes, and you'll find that, or whatever it is you're struggling with, just pop that word in. And I'm sure you'll find a breath work that also has a side note of anxiety relief.
Yeah.
They probably say things to manifest that,
Yeah.
So talking about manifesting, so that's another thing is trying to do meditation. Now, let me backtrack again, or not backtrack, but remind you, I'm not perfect at this. I'm trying to do these things.
Nothing we talk about, we're perfect at.
No, nothing. So I'm not like, oh, here they go preaching again about all these things that I should be doing to be better. No, I mean, it's like, hey, look, I don't do this every day. If in the perfect world, I would do all these things every single day and I'd probably be way better off than I am, but I'm still human. So I usually try to do a meditation each day. Generally, my biggest one is I try to be present because I notice my kids are young. I'm just not present. I'm just going through the motions. I'm like, I got to do this and that. And then I'm going here and I'm doing that and I'm making dinner. And, it's nonstop and I'm not appreciating these moments. And the only thing I can do to get control back is to try to be present. And it's hard to do that without trying to meditate, I think.
Yeah.
Because if meditation's forcing you to, okay, I have a thought and now I'm letting it go, And if you can take that practice of meditation into real life, then you have so much power.
Yeah.
Literally, like we're talking about like superpower stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's how I feel about it. I feel like us as humans have so much more power than we even know. I think we've been conditioned to completely think we couldn't do any of these things. We can't trust ourselves. We can't trust our instincts. We're not capable of, healing and, manifesting and all of these things, but we are.
And intuition.
It's like a muscle that we lost and we don't know how to use it and we have to work it out,
Yes.
and build that muscle. But for me, like meditation, I feel like helps me, like you said, like it helps you control your thoughts better and be more aware of them and how to, just like control them instead of having like racing thoughts so much. And I'm sure, like, I'm not great at that, but I could see how it's going to get better in time if I would continue. But also, like, it helps me to, like, I like to meditate and manifest. Like, so you know how I am. I like to have a million different hobbies. I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm extremely overwhelmed too because I'm trying to do so many things.
Same.
And I like to
stay honey.
Yeah. So I like to stay focused on what my priorities are. And that seems really simple, but it's not. It's easy for me to get carried away and thinking this is important when it's not the most important thing. And I try to just manifest and focus on what's important to me, and this is what I'm going to focus on and manifest into my life, you know what I mean? And let the other things go. I don't know if that made sense, but I guess it helps me focus on what's important in life.
Yeah. No, and I mean, that's why I try to be present.
Yeah. We need like a constant reminder,
Yeah. I try to be present because I can just go forever without stopping my racing mind. Literally, I'll never stop, but to quiet that down, because in the meditation, you have the thought, you blow it away whenever you blow out your breath or whatever. And then, okay, I'm like, I've done that. I did my work this morning. I worked out. I did all these things. It's time to just spend time with the girls, because that's my priority is my family, But it's hard because even if I did all the tasks, I'm still a million miles ahead, Yeah. And so I try to just, okay, if I can just acknowledge, oh, let's be present, then I can maybe take a deep breath and try to bounce some thoughts away. But it's really hard to just be present and enjoy the moment.
Yeah, and that's like plays a big part of what we're going to talk about in the next episode about the whole rat race. And it's like we're so just it's so hard for us to get that out of our heads of we have to be doing this and this and this and we have to get these things done. When in reality, the only thing that's really important is being with our loved ones and being healthy and happy.
Even if you're not thinking like that, it's even with the hobbies, because you can like you said, prioritize hobbies over what you should be doing, because it's not like you have to do it, but it's because you want to do it. But it's hard because there's a balance between, well, I want this, but I need to do my priority. I need to spend time with the girls just playing today, you know. So it's hard.
It is hard. I guess it's just it's like a muscle we have to build, and you just got to keep trying, and eventually we'll get better at it, at being able to just like slow down and just take it step by step, you know.
And I guess that's what the meditations help, because you're at least focusing on that you need to be doing that, and then it kind of sticks in your head throughout the day. Like you might have thoughts of when you need to be present or whatever it is, you know. I mean, the meditations can also really help with anxiety and stuff like that, and the manifestation ones are really good too. I really like those. I'll link it. The one that I really like about raising your vibrational energy just makes you feel positive, upbeat, like inspired, creative, you know, just all these good things. You just tell yourself all the best things about yourself and the best things about what's going to happen today.
Yeah, because
it just makes your brain work.
Yeah, our brain is always listening. It listens to everything we say. And when we're cutting ourselves down, like we look in the mirror and we cut ourselves down, our brain is hearing it, you know, and that really affects us. Yeah. Like in every way, both mentally and physically. Like, so telling yourself positive things is definitely a great way to start your day. I always have a better day when I meditate first.
Yeah, and as for meditation, you do have to be centered and, you know, try not to have sounds. You know, you have to be in the moment with that. But manifestation doesn't really have to be like that. I'll listen to it when I put on my makeup in the morning.
Yeah.
And you're just absorbed. I mean, you have to listen to it. You can't just put it on. I'll be trying to listen to something while I'm doing something else, and it's just not coming in.
I know, I do that all the time, and I have to rewind. Listen again.
Yeah, so, but I like manifestations a lot. And again, meditation also helps you be self-aware, be present, and all that stuff that we talked about with the breath work stuff, you know. Helps you have creative ideas, you know, whenever you have those moments.
A lot of people, I get so many creative ideas, which sometimes I wish they'd just chill a little bit.
Like, I don't need any more creative ideas right now.
I can't keep up with the ones I got. But I hear people talk all the time about getting like downloads of like a business idea, and it's like, you know, they end up pursuing it and it takes off and changes their life, or just a download of their purpose in life, and it's just all of a sudden they just know something that they needed to know. You know, it's really cool stuff if you start listening to people's experiences with that.
Yeah. And it can help you have patience. I know I use this in deep breathing with the girls. When they are just working on my very, very last nerve, I really try to take a deep breath and try to look at them and see all the things I love about them. And that is so hard when your kid is on your last nerve. But to try to find them cute and like sweet in that moment. And that's also almost like being present, in instead of allowing your body to go into like overdrive and like this response that you're like snapping, you know, like if you can calm that down internally, then you will get better and better about not snapping.
Yeah, I definitely think it helps. I think that my patience has gotten a lot better just in the recent years.
Another cool thing is that it can help with your intuition. And I don't know, I mean, it depends on, you know, your beliefs and stuff like that. But a lot of people think, and I believe, have spirit interactions, and like, you know, people, their spirit guides might come to them and tell them something or whatever. Maybe spirit guides is just another word, like you said, of that download. You're just getting like this download of information almost.
The way I feel about it is I think we all have different terms for the same thing. I think a lot
Yeah.
of people say it's this and that and this, but I think it's all the same thing. For me, I just think it's God,
Yeah.
or I don't even, I don't know, but I know it's there, it's real, and it's happening,
Yeah.
And I think that it really is a great way to build intuition, or it's like another muscle to build.
Yes, intuition is a crazy, awesome muscle to build.
Something I
know
definitely want to work on a lot.
people even talk about doing past life regressions and stuff like that, which is really cool. They feel because we talk about energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed.
Right.
And what if in this life we are just this energy, our soul, they call it, it's just different words for different things. Our energy is always going on to something else, almost like reincarnation in some way. And it's just different life, so, and then I guess some people have said too that like even their kids that they have now were in their lives in the past life, like they have these memories, these very vivid memories, and it's just the coolest thing ever. I want to do that. I want to do one.
It's really cool if you're open-minded. A lot of people will hear stuff like that and they'll just be like, that's bullshit, that's stupid, that's not real. But if you're willing to be open-minded, and just hear these people out, not all of these people are crazy, they really are experiencing this, and no matter what they're experiencing something that's real.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be so black and white, but to each their own. But I'm just throwing that out there. It's really cool. I want to encourage people to just be more open-minded, period, in general.
Just
don't
do some
be like,
meditation, see how you feel.
yeah, if it feels bad to you, trust your intuition. If
Yeah.
it feels wrong or bad and you think this is wrong, then don't do it, But I don't know. People just need to be more open-minded, or at least try.
Yeah, just try it. And then, meditation's one thing, I guess, like trying to embrace the intuitive side is like a progressive, advanced meditation, at least in the way I look at it. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to exercise my breath work and meditation more. And maybe in a couple months, I might be ready to do past life regression and see what happens. Because I think that's
I want to
so
hear
crazy.
about it.
All right, so the next one that I've been really good about, I've done this one almost every day the last 2 weeks or so, maybe I skip the weekends, is mobility exercises. And it's funny because I used to have a personal trainer, Drew, with Start Today Fitness. He's so awesome, but I was probably one of his most difficult clients because he said I was oppositionally defiant.
I believe that.
So, and he's right. But he would always talk about mobility, and I just was like, whatever, dude. I'm not doing extra exercises at home before I come work out with you. But now, feeling my mobility at the age of 40, and thinking about the rest of my life, I'm really letting a focus on that.
Yeah,
Because-
dude, so important.
Yes.
I
Our
knew it was
bodies-
important. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I knew it was important, but it's like when you said it the other day, it's just like a bing, that's really, I forgot that it was
vitally
important.
important.
Yeah, and we're getting up there in age, and I always said I don't want to be one of those older people who can barely walk, or barely struggle to
hunched
squat.
over.
Yeah. They struggle to bend down. They struggle to tie their shoes. Simple life things, daily movements. I forgot the name of that, but just activities of daily life that are just super difficult. I don't want to be that. I want to be. I always think of my sister's husband's granny. She was. I remember her being at their wedding and just dancing. She was dancing, and she was like spitfire, like just full of energy and spunky, and I want to be like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's our bodies, like we talked about with gravity and stuff, it's constantly pushing us down. We're hunching over, and slowly our spine, if you allow yourself to do that, like your body will go right into it and you'll never get out.
Yeah.
But doing mobility exercises, which are basically like just stretching and moving your joints, stretching your tendons, stretching your muscles, stretching your fascia, all this stuff. is loosening everything up. It's loosening stiff joints. You know, my tendons in my legs are so tight from my knee to my groin, basically. I think those are hip flexors, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like, there's certain things that I have, my calves just insanely tight. And it shouldn't be that hard to like, do these very basic stretches. And it's challenging, you know?
I know. I used to be so flexible, and now I'm so stiff. It sucks. But I like that could help with so much too. Like first of all, posture is something I've always been pretty good about. I've always think about it. Not always, like I do hunch sometimes, but I'm good about catching it, and then I'll sit up. And I'll sit up and, to where I feel like I'm being ridiculous. I feel like when you're actually sitting with good posture, it kind of feels a little ridiculous, but it actually feels good to just sit straight, and roll your shoulders back. And it's really
I would
important.
never sit like that. I like never do this.
I do. Sometimes I'll just sit on my phone and I'm sitting like this and I feel silly, but I do it because everybody else is, they're like, why are you sitting like that? But it's important. Almost so many older people are stuck this.
And like my neck's already trying to do this. Like I'm 40 and my body's like, hunch over, little lady.
Yeah. And also like the mobility exercises can probably help so much with tension. I know I struggle with tension so much. I clench my jaw to where it gives me headaches and like my teeth are shifting from it. Mm-hmm. And I have my back and shoulder muscles are so tense. It's in my hips as well. And I finally got it through meditation to relax at one point, and then it went back because I wasn't consistent with what I was doing. But that can help so much with things like tension, and tension can cause so much pain. Mm-hmm. Like you wouldn't even believe it.
Major tension headaches lately, all coming from my neck. So I'm really trying to work on that, and I'm struggling with it right this very minute, but I just don't want to be hunched over and be in pain. Like if I spend a couple hours doing stuff around my house, I'm like dying. I can't drive for 3 hours straight now without having neck problems. That's horrible. I can't live the next 40, 50 years like this.
Yeah. And I was really bad about thinking I'm a pretty active person. I don't even sit on the sofa all day. Like, never catch me on the sofa till like right before bed. And I was like, I'm really active. I should be good, but we're active, but we're kind of doing like the same movements all the time. Yeah. We're not really using a lot of different muscles. And so I hurt my back when I was 19. I got a bulging disc in the last disc in my back, and it caused a lot of pain into my hip and down my leg. And so I went to physical therapy for a bit. And he explained to me that you have the muscles that support your spine, and a lot of us don't use them, and so they get weak, and they're not supporting our spine as well, and that allows our spine to get injured very easily. So he showed me these simple exercises, like laying on your belly and doing like the scissors with your legs, opposite arm and leg at the same, and a lot of stuff kind of like that, and then laying on your back with your knees up and rolling them side to side, just stuff like that. And every time I start to do those, my back feels so much better. But the regular movements I do on the daily don't work that out. Yeah.
No, because it's like you need to move so much more than the basic movements that we do in daily life. Yeah. And the only way you can move that way is if you are doing mobility exercises, because you wouldn't normally move that way enough. I guess, yeah. So I have this video I like, but I want to branch out because I need to do some additional stuff. I really need to do some spine stuff because my neck, my chiropractor gave me some exercises to do for my neck, but I don't think it's enough because I'm doing it and it's just not, I need more. Yeah. So my friend is a physical therapist, and she knows a lot of good stuff like that. And she could probably do an episode with us at some point too.
That'd be really good, because those are, they're all like usually a lot of simple exercises, but really helpful and effective.
Yeah, and they also help with your balance and stability. So it's really important as you're getting older, to work on that. And it's just, we're really focusing because I'm starting to feel this stuff majorly, and you're like getting there, and you live a really active lifestyle, so you'll probably feel it sooner because you're used to, Well, I don't know. It's like two ways of thought. Maybe people that are more active don't do better than people that are like just sitting in front of a desk all day.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to start falling apart sooner if you're not using your muscles, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and then the last one is exercise or just movement in general, because, even just like walking, 20 minutes a day or whatever is like so good for your body. But actually lifting weights and things like that are really good for, building your bones, losing weight, also mood boosting stuff, obviously.
And strength.
Strength, yes.
And
so many
yeah,
benefits.
I've been watching a lot of I always watch a lot of health stuff, reading about a lot of health stuff, and people always seem to go back to lifting weights. That's one of the best things you can do, And also, after you eat, it's really important to be mobile if you can. If you can go for a quick little walk after you eat, that will help you with your digestion a lot, Which I know that's really hard for a lot of us. I don't do that. I don't go take a walk anyway.
Sometimes we do after dinner. The girls like to do that.
That is a really good routine if you could do that, have dinner with the family and then go take a walk.
Yeah, it's usually like right around dusk, and then it's like a little cooler and nicer.
Yeah.
But the last 2 days I made dinner like super late, and it's like pitch black outside. We can't go for a walk. Sorry.
But it could be really beneficial with a lot of things as well.
Yep, and then you sleep better, feel better. Yeah. All these things will help you sleep better, feel better.
Oh, yeah. That's a great point. So I've been struggling with sleep, which is new for me. Well, it's kind of getting old now. Been dealing with it for maybe almost a year now, and it sucks because I dealt with insomnia in the past, and then I didn't, and now I do it again. And I feel like I do not everything right, but right enough to where I shouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping, but my brain isn't sleeping, if that makes, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I feel like I'm not getting actual sleep.
Yeah.
And, but if I work really hard outside, I'm sweating and I'm like, do a lot of physical labor, I sleep. And I sleep good. Not saying that everybody has to go do some really hard physical labor, but I'm just saying that a lot of times we don't sleep well because we're not moving enough, you know? The more movement you have, the better you're going to sleep. It's going to help with sleep. For sure. So many things that will help you be your little superpower self. Yeah.
All these things will help you get to the next level, I believe, at least. And I'm seeing, so since I started doing mobility exercises, just last Monday is all, but I'm already seeing a lot of better flexibility. I mean, not a lot of better flexibility, but I will say that when I do the same moves now, I'm more flexible than I was last week. And that's all that matters, that you're seeing progress. Yes. You know what I mean? Very quick progress. You'll notice it's getting better if you keep doing it every day. And when you start really paying attention, for example, you're doing movement exercises, so you're noticing that you're more flexible and stuff, but pay attention to everything else too. Pay attention to your mood, your sleep, your, all of the other things, your mental status, and see how it affects all of those things. Maybe even keep a journal and keep notes of if you exercised that day or you meditated that day, and then at the end of the day, write how your day went, I don't do that. I've been wanting to, but I do not want to do that. I'm don't want to journal. You don't want to journal? I do not. Oh, I do. I want to. I do it sometimes, but not in that kind of way. I just kind of just talk about my day sometimes because it's something I want to be able to read later. Oh. But I think it would be really, you could learn a lot about your health and what's working and what's not working if you would, record what you ate and what you did, whether you meditated, exercised, or didn't, and then record how your day went, how you felt. Did you have a headache? Did you, whatever. Did you have a bowel movement that day? All of those things. And you go back and look, that'll tell you a lot. Seriously. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Yeah. And at least do it temporarily to see how you're doing, and then maybe once you feel better, then you won't, or maybe you'll be like, oh my God, this was life-changing. Yeah. It's not something I'm going to institute at this moment, but I'll think about it. It's just another thing to do. Add this whole thing that I do right here is an hour. Yeah. If I do all 4, I do 15 minutes of each. I really want to encourage people to actually give things a chance. I think people do stuff for a week or 2 weeks or maybe even a month, and they're like, I'm not getting the results I want. They want to see extreme results.
And or like if you're trying to lose weight, they expect to be like losing all kind of weight. Sometimes things take a long time. Don't quit so easily. Just keep going. You keep going. You will see results. You're doing something good. You're doing something your body needs. You're going to see results. Just keep doing it until you see results. Just give it an actual chance.
Yes. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you go out and do one of these things, or try all these things. I think if you tried all of them, that'd be like insane and great.
Or do like one each day.
Yeah, just do one each day. Yeah, that's right. And start somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like my personal trainer Drew, start today.
Yeah.
Don't start. My husband would always say, start tomorrow. No. Start today. So try it out. I'll link the videos that I really like. And feel free to reach out to us on Facebook, YouTube, send us a message. We're always watching, and we would love to interact with anyone. Come on, someone, comment, say something.
We're wanting some interaction.
But we hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you again next week. Bye, guys.